We're following a developing story. The Terre Haute Police Department is responding to a viral video involving an officer kicking a dog. Good afternoon, I'm Kit Hanley in for Susan Dinkle. It's Wednesday, December 1st. The video is causing outrage from people near and far, and the video in this story may be hard to watch. News 10 has been working to verify the video and get a response since last night. It's a lot of information to share with you. Portia Williams is live in the newsroom to explain what we've learned today. Portia?
This viral situation started about 24 hours ago. A person on Twitter shared the video from a Ring doorbell camera from Monday evening. She says someone broke into her family's home and that their dogs ran the person off. She says a neighbor called the police. The Twitter user says when officers arrived, they started kicking her dog. Now we share a timeline of what we found out and when. We wanted to verify the video from the Twitter user and get permission to show it to you. We matched the timestamp of the video to the daily 911 dispatch log to get an address. I visited the house this morning. A man at the home did not want to comment and kindly asked us to leave. Late this morning, the Terre Haute Police Department showed its own account of what happened along with body camera video. The department says a resident of the house has declined to make a complaint. The police department said this started with a report of an aggressive animal and not a burglary.
Get away from me! Get away!
They say not long after arriving, two dogs ran toward them. Police say body camera footage shows the full 1 hour, 13 minutes for the call, while the doorbell video only shows just over 1 minute. The department also sent all evidence to the prosecutor's office for review. I spoke with Prosecutor Terry Modisette. He told me his office did not find that any criminal activity occurred. He based this off of the Burns, Indiana statute.
At this point, I made a determination that I don't feel any crime has been committed. The officer was doing his duty. Now, whether or not he acted against THPD policies or their department rules or anything like that, that's up for the police department to determine.
The police department says it will continue to evaluate the officer's conduct to see if he violated any department policies. During this process, the sergeant involved will be on administrative duty assignment. The police department also says officers cited the resident for several animal offenses. Coming up at 6, you'll hear the 911 call that sparked this situation. Reporting live in the newsroom, Portia Williams, News 10.
The Terre Haute Police Department says officers were called back to the house later that same day. The resident reported someone may have gotten into the house, which is how the dogs could have gotten out. We also want to note that the police department isn't releasing the name of the officer involved at this time. A person was thrown out of a truck after a high-speed chase down US 41. Around 10 in the morning, Terre Haute police officers located a stolen truck in the area of 7th and Margaret. Police say the truck took off eastbound, leading officers into a chase. Police say the suspect drove over stop sticks set up by the police and then crashed. The driver was thrown from the truck. He was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. We spoke with the person who says he owns the stolen vehicle. He says he heard his truck speed off from his driveway around 3 in the morning.
No, it's just, you can't make this stuff up. I mean, this is crazy. I have no words for what happened today.
As of right now, police have not released the name of the suspect, but we will continue to keep you updated as more information becomes available, both on air and online. No one was hurt after a fire at a local school today. It happened this morning in the new construction area at Otter Creek Middle School. School officials say a kettle of tar on the roof caught fire. The on-site supervisor identified the fire and then called 911. School officials evacuated the building until it was cleared. They say there is limited damage to the building. Our rain from earlier has moved out of the picture. Storm Team 10 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Orper says temperatures are going to rise before the weekend. Hey Kevin, happy December.
Hello. Yeah, it is December. Thank you, Kit. And happy December, everybody. It sure doesn't feel like it. It's not going to over the next couple of days. We still have a lot of clouds here, but the rain has moved out, as you can see here. We got about not quite 1/4 of an inch of rain here at the television station, so we still have some cloudiness. But as we get into the nighttime, it'll become partly cloudy. So it's 49 in Terre Haute. Linton has 50, Lagodi 52, and Olney at 56, and Newton 56, and Mattoon at 51. So not bad temperature-wise. Average high this time of year is in the mid-40s. So Mid-40s at 7 o'clock and 12 o'clock and at 3 a.m. So we have still some clouds lingering. Temperatures in the 40s and a southwest breeze to about 10 miles an hour. But so far, no more rain in the immediate forecast. Right now it's 49, south breeze at 5, relative humidity is at 90%, and the dew point is 46. So when I come back, we'll take a look at the temperatures. They're shaping up very nicely. I'll let you know what to expect.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, this evening we'll learn more about the possible future of a local elementary school. We told you yesterday that Meadows Elementary could be repurposed into a so-called learning lab. It's a recommendation from the Vigo County School Corporation's Consolidation Committee. A final decision is likely months away, but the plan will be presented in depth this evening. There's a special meeting and work session happening at 6 o'clock. The board will meet at Terre Haute South, and News 10's Blake Dollier will be there. We'll have more at 10 on MyFox 10 and 11 on Night Watch. A huge day at the U.S. Supreme Court where the future of abortion rights hangs in the balance. Hundreds of protesters on both sides of the issue descended on the nation's capital as the 9 justices heard arguments in a case that could overturn Roe v. Wade. Skylar Henry is outside the Supreme Court with more.
Protesters were divided by metal fences outside the U.S. Supreme Court. Inside, justices heard oral arguments for the most consequential challenge to the 1973 Roe v. Wade decision on abortion to date.
Life is worth protecting from conception.
We're moving towards a society where we're forcing people to give birth, and that's not the solution.
At the heart of the case, known as Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization, is a Mississippi law that bans abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy.
This is a wonderful opportunity to return this to the people.
This case is a major test of the High Court's 6-3 conservative majority, with a decision expected before summer of next year.
Why should this court be the arbiter rather than Congress, the state legislatures, state Supreme Courts, the people?
They're going to be ready to say, no, you're just political. You're just politicians. And that's what kills us as an American institution.
21 conservative states have already passed laws banning all or almost all abortions if Roe v. Wade is overturned, while 16 states are working on legislation to protect access to abortion.
I support Roe v. Wade. I think it's a rational position to take.
A recent CBS News poll showed a majority want the Roe v. Wade decision to stay as is. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the Supreme Court.
Last month, the U.S. Supreme Court heard arguments on a Texas state law. This law allows civil suits to be brought against anyone involved in getting an abortion as early as 6 weeks into pregnancy. The Supreme Court may rule on that case soon. A community is in mourning in Michigan after 4 American students lost their lives in a school shooting. A 15-year-old sophomore armed with a semi-automatic gun fired at least 12 rounds, injuring an additional 7 people. Before police cleared sheltering students and staff, video from inside the school showed students inside classrooms during those terrifying minutes. This was at least the 28th school shooting in the U.S. this year.
This is something you see in movies. This doesn't happen at Oxford, doesn't happen at my school.
Of the surviving victims, several are in critical condition this morning. Local law enforcement and the FBI are sifting through social media as well as surveillance video for clues as to what happened. Police do not yet know the shooter's motive. Health experts say the first case of the Omicron variant has been found in the U.S. California and CDC officials say a person who traveled to the San Francisco Bay Area from South Africa has tested positive for the COVID Omicron variant. Meanwhile, U.S. officials are working to revise its testing order for international travelers into the United States. Dr. Anthony Fauci says in the next few weeks, the U.S. expects to learn a lot more about Omicron's transmissibility and severity. This is through information from countries like South Africa, which have larger numbers of cases. Governor Holcomb is extending Indiana's public health emergency. The extension allows Hoosiers to continue to receive COVID-19 protections like increased federal food assistance and easy access to vaccines. The public health emergency is now set to expire on December 31st, but could continue beyond that date if it is deemed necessary. Well, the way you mow your lawn could be changing. We'll explain why some states are switching to a more sustainable option. But first, a multi-million-dollar factory could be coming to one Wabash Valley community. We'll tell you where when News 10 First at 5 returns. Stay with us.
You're watching the Wabash Valley's most watched newscast, News 10. Closed captioning is sponsored by Terre Haute Chevrolet, the #1 Chevrolet dealer in the Wabash Valley.
The Terre Haute Symphony Orchestra presents Candlelit Holidays, an annual tradition, Saturday, December 4th at Tilson Auditorium. Baritone Rick Vale joins the THSO, singing favorites like The First Noel, O Holy Night, and Angels We Have Heard on High. Plus enjoy solos by Terre Haute native and soprano Carolyn Goodwin and THSO principal trumpet Jay Elsmore. Tickets sell fast for this holiday favorite. Get yours now at thso.org or call Holman Center.
No gimmicks, no mail-in rebates, still the most affordable full synthetic oil change in town, $39.95. And the most affordable four-wheel alignment in town, $69.95. Call and make your appointment today because I want to hear you say I had it fixed at Fusen.
When you're part of a Touchstone Energy cooperative, you have a voice because you're more than just a customer. You're a member. And what's more powerful than that?
To learn more, visit us online.
It's that time of year when everything gets a little brighter. So let us help you light up a few more faces this season by giving the gift of holiday scratch-offs. Happy holidays from the Hoosier Lottery. Imagine that.
It's bell ringing snow sledding. Time to shop all the store-wide savings at R&R Discount.
Shop indoor and outdoor holiday decorations. Celebrate with farmhouse and red truck decor. And don't forget that gift for that special someone. Shop our toy department. Find games, dolls, trucks, spaceships, activity sets, and so much more. Toys for the toddler to the teen. Shop while supplies last. Lay it away now and wrap up your holiday shopping at R&R Discount. Open 9 to 5 Monday through Saturday, 7th and Lafayette.
We are announcing new starting wages for trailer assemblers, welders, and painters, with no experience necessary to apply. Enjoy competitive health benefits, 401k, pension, 4-day work week, and a great work-life balance. We need the makers. We need you. Apply today.
Two semiconductor businesses have announced they will be setting up shop at Westgate at Crane. News 10 Bureau Chief Gary Bryan caught up with one of the CEOs of those firms. He tells us how that organization is looking to build a new factory.
Enhanced Semiconductors is one of two firms setting up shop at Westgate Technology Park. Westgate sits on the west side of the Crane Navy base. Right now, Enhanced is in its first stage of establishing what it calls Foundry 2.0. Foundry 2.0 is a new manufacturing model for custom integrated circuits. In simple terms, Enhance would take circuits from a supplier like Samsung or Intel. They would then customize that circuit for a buyer. Right now, in the world of semiconductors, big suppliers don't want to make small shipments. Enhance looks to bridge the gap between those big suppliers and businesses wanting smaller shipments. Right now, the organization has an office at Westgate, but that's just phase one. As the plan rolls out, Foundry 2.0 would turn into a $100 million investment. That would come in the form of a factory and high-tech jobs just outside of the Navy base.
Can build a Silicon Valley, a Silicon Prairie, as it were, that is in Indiana, and it leverages intellectual property more than capital.
In Crane, Indiana, Gary Bryan, News 10.